Okay, good evening. This is Kevin Lasher, your city manager. This is a recap of tonight's city council meeting of July 23rd of the year 2024. A lot was discussed. It was a rather short meeting, but the first item on today's agenda was a cursory review of proposed state legislation that's going to be coming up in this next legislative period. And there's a number of bills about the establishment of municipal utility districts, also known as MUDs. Some bills regarding the regulation of land use and development in the extraterritorial jurisdiction, also known as the ETJ. That's the area outside of the city that the city has a right to annex. And then there was another bill that's being proposed that could potentially take away a city's right to zone for residential density. So some cities, like our own city, that has a 1 acre minimum lot size, and we have a certain size for residential main residences in certain zoning districts. And if this bill were to pass, that would be preempted. All of that authority would be taken away from cities, and it would be granted to the state. And so there's some concerns about this. These bills are going to be enrolled, as they say, in Austin for this upcoming legislative session come December the 1st. That's the date of enrollment. Once it's enrolled, then these bills are going to go through various committees, and it's usually going to be August, September-ish, early September of next year, not this year, but next year, when they get voted on. So we bring this up because we not only want the governing body to be involved in some of these committee hearings, but we also want to encourage you, the citizens, to be involved as well. Because if you happen to live on a 1 acre lot or a 3 acre lot, and if some of these bills or proposed bills are enacted and voted on and signed, then you could have 50-foot wide lots occurring next door to you. And our concern is that that's going to have too much of an impact on the real estate market here. All these laws are being done for the purpose of promulgating affordable housing. That's a very noble cause, and it is needed. But it doesn't have to be done like this, to where you just throw a blanket over every municipality of every size and say you can no longer engage in the practice of zoning. So keep that on your radar, and keep looking at our website for updates for when these particular bills go through committee. Again, that legislative session, it starts in 2025. We also did some zoning. The council reviewed some zoning case. There was a proposal for a single family 22, that's half acre lots for the Perry property. That went through P&Z last month, and P&Z, Planning and Zoning Commission, said it wasn't, because it did not conform to our comprehensive plan, that they cannot vote for it. So the applicant has asked that particular case for the half acre lots be withdrawn, and the council accepted it. In fact, council formally denied it, so that the case won't be coming back. However, this same applicant has resubmitted a new amended PD zoning for the Perry property. And this is the Perry property is that property across on CVS. It's about 158 acres, and it's between Ridge Road and Phase 5 of Heath Crossing. And they're going to be coming back to P&Z on August the 6th for a 1 acre net lot size, residential single family detached subdivision. So that's going to be re-notified. So those of you who live within 500 feet of the Perry property, which again is across from Standard Service, CVS, you'll be getting a notice on that. And then there was another piece of property, about 15 acres. It was on FM 549 East. It's in fact, it's the property that's on the other side of the Mormon church, that big red brick church out there. They had submitted an earlier zoning case that P&Z wasn't comfortable with. It was for 15 lots, and so P&Z asked basically expressed their concerns, and so that applicant had asked for that 15 lot application to be withdrawn, and City Council reviewed that request for withdrawal, and they accepted that request for withdrawal. What the applicant will be doing is they'll be coming back with a new proposal for 12 lots, not 15, but 12. And that also is scheduled for P&Z, Planning and Zoning Commission, on August the 6th. That case will also be re-notified. If you live proximate to that property, you will get a notice as well. Okay, let's talk about our favorite subject, water. A lot of things happened this past week. We went to stage 2. And right after we went to stage 2, all of a sudden we got rain, we got cooler temperatures. So we don't know the full impact of stage 2, and we won't know the full impact of it until the triple digits come back. That sounds kind of strange. But some other things happened as well. We reached some milestones, and one of those milestones is these new smart meters. They're called the AMI meters. And we are at 72% installed, or at 72% capacity in terms of our installation for all the various lots and addresses here in Heath. Now, what this does is it allows the city, through a computer, to monitor and to record the amount of the volume of water that is flowing into a property for private use on a 24-hour basis, 7 days a week. And what this helps the city staff do is that we no longer need a code enforcement officer or a public safety officer driving around the neighborhood in the middle of the night, seeing who's watering at night. These meters are telling us what is happening to that. The downside to that is that for those of you who don't really understand what stage 2 means, it means you can only water once a week, then you may not like the information these meters are providing. Because on stage 2, we don't issue warnings at stage 2. We issue citations. That's what our water conservation code that we've adopted says we have to do. So because these meters, the information that we have received thus far, we do have over 700 violators. Some of them, most of those violators, they have been watering at night. A few of them have been watering as much as 20,000 gallons at night, and so presumably that's on for some of these larger lots. When we get a reading like that, obviously we check with the property owner to see, do you have a leak in your system? And so we work through that, but if not, then we have to do something very distasteful and write a citation. Now, naturally, one of the concerns that many of you have called about is that, this is an efficient system, but, isn't this like Big Brother just looking over our shoulder and kind of getting into our business a little bit? And that's, and I can understand that. And my house has a similar system where I live. But here's the response to that. You, the water customer, the property owner, you, the citizen, can see the exactly same information that we see on this great computer that measures the water going in through your meter. And you can download a free app, and it's called Water Advisor 2.0. Again, that is Water Advisor 2.0. And if you go to your favorite app store, whether it be Apple or Android, you can download it for free, and then you follow the instructions. And I believe we have instructions on our website. We'll try to get you an exact location on where that is. But that is for you to see what you're doing, what your meter is doing. And if you think you're using too much water, then you might have a leak. So you might want to call us and see if there's a leak, and we'll come out and we'll check your property. But we'll only check what's called the city side where the meter is. That's basically in the street part, the paving and the parkway right away, which is about 6 to 8 feet outside of the paving. We can't go onto your property. So if there's no leak on the meter side or the city side, then the technician will ask you to bring in your own plumber to see if there's a leak on your property, and then submit a report back to us. We'll work with you on the timing and how to do that. But if there is no leak, then we regrettably, under stage 2, have to issue a violation. So AMI, it's a new system to us, but a lot of people are saying, well, is Heath the only city using this? Well, no. The actual type of meter that we use, it's also being used in Rockwall. The same vendor is being used by the city of Rockwall. It's also being used in McKinney, Sunnyvale, Fate, and Forney. They use the same type of system and the same type of computer that we use. Now, there's other AMI type systems that are being used by other cities, but they're not the same vendors as ours. But Rowlett has a system, Mesquite, Wiley, Royce City, and Terrell. So this is something pretty much all North Texas cities use to monitor the volume. And the really nice thing about these systems is that we can actually get a real definitive fix how much gallons, million gallons per day we're using. Heretofore, it was based on these esoteric, in my opinion, esoteric engineering calculations, which are hard to defend. But with this system, the data is right on. So that's where we are with that. Some good news, but also some frustrating news, and hopefully this summer continue to be mild. I'm told that's not going to happen, but hopefully we'll get out of stage 2. My prayer is we won't go into stage 3, and then we can get back to stage 1, which is our normal year-round stage, very, very soon. And then also related to water, there's also been some concerns about why are we approving more houses? And again, this is, as I mentioned at the early part of this video, there's a lot of state legislations that already prevent us from limiting the volume of houses that go. State of Texas is a deeply seated property rights state. And so we, the city, we no longer have that authority like we had 10, 20 years ago. And so we are required, if you've got a single family lot that's been platted, or even if they have a water meter on it that they paid for, we have to issue the permit. If we don't, we get sued because of this higher preemptive law that's at the state level. But I will say one thing, our building permits, in 2023, we only issued 74 building permits. That's a 10-year low. And through May of this year, we've only issued 26 building permits. So we're on track for the lowest level of single-family construction seen in 20 years. Don't know why that is. It may be because of the water issue, or it may be because the market. We'll soon find out. But anyway, but with this AMI system, it's important that we be fair about it, and that we enforce this, because it's enforcement that is going to help us make it through this summer. What I don't want to see get lost in this story is, for those of you out there who have been complying, we are a city of 10,600 people, and most of you have been complying with stage 2. You've circled the wagons, you're showing that you care about your community, and we can't thank you enough. We'll probably never know who you are, we'll probably never know your name, but I'm telling you, you're doing something great for this community. And for whatever it's worth, we all appreciate everything you're doing by simply complying with stage 2. And we know it's very stressful, and you're worried about your landscaping, you're worried about your investment. But we thank you, and we encourage you to keep up with our water situation by viewing our website and also following our social media sites. So our next meeting is August the 13th. That's our next city council meeting. That's when I will see you again. Thank you very much, and good night.